Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another edition of our Zoom interview series as part of LGBT History Month with Wolds Pride. Now this month we've been talking to various individuals and organisations about different topics with the LGBT community, and today is no different. We've actually got a double special edition for you. We have got Jules and Becky from ThunkIt Theatre. Hi guys.
Hello!
There they are, Jules and Becky. There we go. How are you guys?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty fabulous, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Really excited.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're our first duo interview, so it's very unique today. Fab. So, for those who don't know you, do you want to briefly introduce yourself, what you do, and how you relate to the LGBT community?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jules.
Hi, and I'm Becky, and we are ThunkIt Theatre, as Adam said, so lovely at the beginning. We are a theatre company who work with communities and groups and young people across a variety of places and venues. We basically started because we wanted to connect people and bring people together and make theatre, basically. We connect to the community because we are inclusive, and we really want to welcome everyone into the creative spaces. As two allies to the community, we want to make sure that we are as open for everyone to come and get involved in our projects and anything that we are doing, really. So come along, everyone's welcome.
Fantastic. Yes, and we'll mention this at the end, how you can get involved with ThunkIt Theatre, because they do fabulous workshops and work. But we'll come to that a bit later on. So, to start with, this month's theme for LGBT History Month is body, mind and spirit, which some of you watching might not know. But I'm intrigued to know, thinking of the body and the mind and the spirit, to do with theatre. We're both very familiar with theatre. Do you think it's quite a transformative experience, performing and getting involved in those workshops, things like that?
Definitely. Theatre and performance, it's all about body and mind at the same time. And it really does provide such an outlet to explore your true spirit and express yourself through character and situational experiences and exploration. It's such a time to let your spirit be free and just be in such a supportive, creative space to really channel energy and just explore and identify with your identity and your beliefs. It's just such a creative place that you just get to be yourself. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think it's almost, because I trained in musical theatre, so I'm very familiar with exploring and all that kind of thing. But I think I just kind of see it as a playground, because you can also take a holiday from your identity. And if you are perhaps struggling with coming out or identifying with your gender, sexuality, whatever it may be, theatre can be an escape from that. You can play someone completely the opposite of who you usually are. Which is a really beautiful thing, I think, about the magic of theatre. Fantastic. So, are there any, looking back in the history books, obviously there's many icons from various backgrounds and sexualities, but I want to know if there's anyone from the LGBT community in particular, or any shows, plays that have inspired you within your work and your creations.
Yeah, for sure. We have so many. We found this really hard to narrow it down. But we thought about Tabby Lamb, who is a performer, and their piece "Century Mean Gone" was so impactful on me, specifically on how using theatre as a way to kind of explore your own experiences and have a shared experience in a room. It was really, really impactful. We've also, I personally love Graham Norton and Alan Carr, because I think that, for me, within theatre, my role is normally facilitation. And the way that they run rooms is just really open, fun, chatty, and they give that space for you to kind of just speak. And at ThunkIt, we kind of are all about just providing spaces for the like conversations, and also they're a good laugh, aren't they? They're very funny. I quite like to be like them when I grow up. But yeah, and one play that stuck out to both me and Jules was Angels in America. It's quite a hefty play.
It was Andrew Garfield was in London, didn't he do it, or in America?
Yeah, at the National in London. So it's very long. It's in 2 sittings. I want to say it's about 6 hours. That might be. Yeah,
I think you're about right there. I think you're about right.
It's a very long piece, but it kind of explores. Well, it goes over a long period of time. It's very, there's lots going on, but one of the themes in it is the AIDS epidemic. So it kind of follows different characters in their journeys. And although it's really long, I think the power in that piece, it being so long, is that you're completely transformed into that space. And there's also like the, not paranormal stuff happening, but the bit more wacky abstract stuff that has like such a big impact as well. So that play, we thought that really showed like the power of sharing messages through that, especially now with It's a Sin as well, that's out now.
Oh my gosh, we've been talking about It's a Sin a lot throughout our interviews. Everybody wants to talk about it. It's fantastic.
It's amazing. It's a really great way of creating conversations and opening dialogues, and promoting the like safe spaces that there are available. So yeah, that those kind of things are the ones that we kind of thought about. And also we've put in about British drag, because again, we love the banter, we love the working environment, but also the sisterhood through drag that's created. Obviously we're not drag queens, we'd love to be, but that
you can be a drag king, you can be hyper feminine drag queen. Never rule it out.
And create that space, like that sisterhood, that everyone's in it together, we're all boosting one another, platforming each other. So that really like influences us as a little organisation. Jules, did I miss any of our like ones that we said that we loved?
I'm like mega musical theatre geek. I love musical theatre so much. And like Falsettos is so underappreciated. It's gorgeous. Rent, Kinky Boots. There's like so many great musicals that it's just so important to bring realistic LGBTQIA+ characters into musicals and into plays, and I think those ones especially do it so well, and it's really cool to say.
I think they're fantastic examples, and there's off the beaten track ones as well, like Bear, the pop opera. But we've also got very in your face, like The Prom, with it just being released on Netflix and it being on Broadway. I think in the new writings it is being explored more, and it's fantastic to see those queer voices and queer characters in the shows. It's really I love seeing it as a queer person. It's that representation that we need. It's fantastic. Oh, great. So we've talked about theatre being a powerful tool to express ourselves, and being very educational. It's freeing. I want to talk about educating the younger audiences, the next generation. And this, you can talk about it from a theatre point of view or just in general. Do you think it's important that we open up those conversations about the LGBT community, about the Black community, that kind of thing, with the younger generations?
Yes, yeah, like a million times yes. It's so important, and especially in the education system, from such a young age we should start having these conversations and being open, because if you don't have them in school when you're in such a safe environment, it's literally a learning environment, you're not going to be able to have them in real life when you've grown up. It's so important to start young and start actually integrating that into the education system, into syllabuses. Not just, well, it's obviously so important in sex ed, we really need to be talking about that so much more in sex ed, LGBTQIA plus relationships, and just in general talking about it. But it also needs to be in normal classes as well. History, we need to be talking about the history of queer history. We need to be in English exploring more texts written and about LGBT plus topics.
And from those writers as well, those queer writers, and like Oscar Wilde and those kind of people, and modern day pop culture that can be explored in drama and dance. And think across the board, really, it can be explored much more. Have you got anything you want to add, Becky? Any thoughts?
I just think there's no reason not to. Like, I just find it really frustrating that, like, we still have to be like, yes, children need to know these things. And like, me and Jules have had conversations about our approaches to stuff and things that we didn't get taught in school that we're like, well, I could have done with knowing that. Now I feel like I don't know what I need to know. And like you say, it's so easy to just find those people that are doing those things. Like, there is playtext, there is writers, there is poetry. They're everywhere, so I'm including them.
Yeah, it's that. It's not just limited to that, though. It's like scientists and politicians and historians, and I think we're very, I think we're a bit guilty of jumping straight to the pop culture people, like singers and actors, whatever. But across the board, there's LGBT icons throughout history, which we could celebrate and learn about. I completely agree. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, thank you, girls, for coming on. Now, before we let you go, we've been asking this question throughout the month. And it's a fab one, if I do say so myself. We want to know at Wolds Pride, when do you feel your most free, your most authentic self, fearless? When is that moment for you?
Got to be the Flares dance floor, doesn't it? Like, there's literally nowhere else that you can go. You can have a boogie. It doesn't matter who's watching. Everyone's dancing. Everyone's acting a bit silly. You have a great time. They give you cowboy hats when you buy a drink. Like, is there anywhere?
Go on the dance floor in a nightclub. I love it. I love it. Becky?
I would say any live music gig or anywhere that I can, like Jules says, we're a big fan of a boogie and letting loose. So anywhere that has the capability to do that and not be judged for it, or be judged and not care.
Yeah.
Anywhere that we can have a dance, Flares is a good option. But any live music venue, I love it. I don't like leaving. I don't like leaving them. I want to stay there all the time.
No, and hopefully we can get back to that dance floor ASAP after this pandemic. Fantastic. Right, before you go, girls, any social medias that people can follow ThunkIt Theatre at, or website perhaps?
Yeah, ThunkIt Theatre across the board. Email is the same, all over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Find us there.
We have a website too, thunkittheatre.co.uk.
It's either .co.uk or .com. We'll make sure it's on the screen somewhere for you to have an explore and check it out. Fantastic. Thank you so much for today, girls. We'll see you soon.
Amazing. Thanks for having us.